Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
If you're hearing that sound, you know what that means.
It's time.
It's time for the
It's time.
E612 show. It's 612 somewhere.
Yep.
And we're so glad you are on live with us. We're excited today.
Oh man. We can't say it yet.
Oh,
Although I guess if you're watching on YouTube, you would see that we are sitting next to each other and not
That's a
in our
different
own
setup.
separate frames. So if you're not watching on YouTube, you should check it out on YouTube because you're probably going to want to see this one,
come on, Warrior
Yeah.
Nation. Get ready. It's going to be a good one.
not just hear it. Coming to you live. Oh, in front of a studio audience. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's how we roll. Warrior Nation, we're excited and glad you are here.
Historic today. Historic.
It's a good day.
Yeah. See, I can't look at you because then I go like this and then you can't hear me as well.
I do it all the time.
Look at me.
Well, come in and out of but that too.
Yeah,
That
because you
too.
move around a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Sometimes you can probably hear me clear. Sometimes you probably can't, but that's okay. Because I like to look at my wife.
I hope so. All right.
Let's
stay
get it going.
focused.
Warrior Nation,
Stay
repeat after
focused.
me. Say, I am
I am
somebody.
somebody.
I am.
I am. What?
What if our guests
Oh
wanted
my
to do
gosh.
that with us?
Oh, but they can't see yet.
Well, she could still do it with
All
us.
right.
All right, let's start that again. Say,
Wait, so like you're going to say it and then her and I are going to repeat it?
There you go.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go.
Warriors Creed, say, I am
I am
somebody.
somebody.
I am
I am
a warrior.
a warrior.
Therefore, I am
Therefore, I am
victorious.
victorious.
And that's because I am
And that's because I am
a child of God.
a child of God.
Yeah.
We harmonized. Could you hear
I
it?
like that. That sounded good.
Oh yeah.
Good.
So-
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get right in. First I want to give a shout out to a local Mooville Creamery.
Well, it's not local. You got to go to.
Well, I mean
You gotta drive a
it's
little
like it's Michigan.
Okay.
So that's local. But if you're from the area and you've never been, we
Good
just
stuff.
went for the first time. # not sponsored, but I think I might ask them
They got a lot of good flavors.
because I think they're Christian. I think so, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the cows are holy on that ground.
Yeah. Holy ground. Yeah, that's true. The milk is holy milk.
It's they did say it was lactose
Well, okay.
free. Or,
Well, no.
Or is it?
If you
How
have
does it
milk,
work?
no. If you have milk, it's not lactose free. But if you drink fresh milk from the cow, like not like
Right from the
whatever
udder.
it is, they don't do that there. They're not going to sponsor us if you talk like that. No. So getting off track. Just go ahead. Tell them they're a Christian-owned business.
Christian-owned business, great farm and fresh ice cream.
Oh, so good.
So many great flavors.
What'd you get?
I think I got a banana, peanut
Yeah,
butter,
that sounds about right. Like your two favorite things.
chocolate something. I don't know. They got a petting zoo.
Man, I had s'mores. S'mores ice cream.
You did?
Yeah. You didn't try it?
No.
I think I ate it before I offered it to you.
But they
But
had so
anyways.
many different flavors that you
Yeah.
wouldn't find at a local ice creamery.
Mm-hmm. And it was fresh. So
And it-
good.
So good.
Yeah.
Petting zoo.
Yeah, that was cool.
They had food you can eat.
I mean, you didn't look at the animals, but I did.
yes.
and
my,
food, yeah.
and my babies
I think
did.
it was like Sloppy Joe's that day or something like that. I don't know, some different food. It's kind
yeah.
of cool.
Well,
different.
we brought home like a mac and cheese tray. That
yeah.
was pretty good.
So they had frozen meat you could buy. I bought a whole frozen chicken. And then there's like some ground beef, which I'm assuming came from the cows that were there. And then they also had frozen homemade meals you could get. So yeah, we tried a little baby mac and cheese, and I think they had like chicken pot pie, and I don't know what else they had, but
If you're listening, you're probably getting hungry.
oh,
by
like a
now.
breakfast casserole. I got a breakfast casserole too that had like sausage in it and stuff like that. It was
Yeah,
good.
that was pretty good.
Yeah, so that was yummy. But yeah.
You could also take all the ice creams home.
Yeah, they had like pints and quarts and gallons, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. So, anyways,
So if you go through
if
a
you're ever in the
breakup,
area,
if you go through a breakup, go grab a gallon of ice cream.
go grab
from
some
Louisville.
peanut butter I don't even know what the name of
Banana.
it was. But they had some good different flavors that you wouldn't find other places. So, all right.
But today is a special day
Why?
because we have our first ever guest here in studio
In
with us.
studio.
I call her my oldest friend, but that's not because she's old. It's because she's my longest friend ever, and she still loves me after all these years. I like to say we were best friends in high school. We were friends in high school. I like to say we were best friends in high school, and that was just a few years ago, right? Well, you wouldn't know.
And she's been listening to the show for a long time. Was it first time, long time?
No.
And so it's fitting that she'd be kind of our first guest, because I think we've had guests before, but never. I don't know if we've had them in studio. I don't think we've ever had anybody.
We tried some like Zoom sort of things.
So we're still perfecting that. We're trying to figure that out to be able to get guests that are in other places and kind of do that as well. But in-house, we're glad she's with us here. And so we're kind of still figuring out logistics, and this studio's kind of small, so we might
Hence
be trying
why
to,
me and you are sitting next to each other.
we might be trying to figure out how to do a better setup.
But I think you call her our number one fan.
She's our number one fan. She's
So
up to date. She has all the episodes.
We can quiz her
on
today.
different episodes, and she knows the answers.
Happened. So she did her homework, and I was trying to find the right words to introduce her to you guys. Besides the fact that she's my dear friend, she's very driven. She's hardworking. Powerhouse woman, probably on another level. I think worker bee, that seems normal to her. For me, it's like on another level. I know in high school, she took AP classes. I took some of the same AP classes. I don't think I passed it. I think it was, I don't even remember, psychology. I think it was AP. She was the teacher's favorite. But she passed all her AP classes, which made her finish college in like 3 years. She, yes, always goes. Yeah, do the clapping. Thank you. She is an overachiever in my eyes.
Yeah.
In her eyes, it's just how she is built. It's just normal. And so she made waves in the financial world,
Yes.
spearheading so many donation dollars towards nonprofits through her career. And obviously, you know, in a second, we'll let you share a little bit about that. But I wanted to introduce Danielle Robinson.
Yay.
Oh, that's a perfect one for her. That's a perfect one for her.
That one?
Yes, sure. So, Danielle, if you will, share a little bit about the career that you worked at forever, and just kind of get us started.
Well, before you do that, we just want to say thank you for being a long-time listener, because you know you don't have to, but you continue to keep up and support and say you love hearing everything we're doing over here in this side. So thank you for that. And also congratulations on your retirement at such a young age. So,
oh man, cat's out of the bag. All right, Miss Danielle, take it away. So share a little bit about kind of your career and a little bit about yourself.
I'd love to. And first, I will say, I am the president of your fan club. So glad to have the
T-shirts
title.
coming soon.
I've definitely been listening since season 1. So
Yeah.
Love it. Keep it coming. Great
Thank you.
content.
Thank
Love
you.
hearing what you guys are doing and seeing all your awesome work.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
I thank God all the time for our friendship. So
Nice.
Hey,
amazing.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, so a little bit about me, and I'll share a little bit about my career too. I'm a local gal. I was born in Lansing, went to grade school at St. Gerard. Then my folks wanted to live in the country, so we moved to St. John's, which is where I met the wonderful Shalene in
Yeah.
high school.
Yeah.
And we were locker partners.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Oh yeah.
And
I was always so tidy and you weren't. I'm just kidding.
Remember we had that great trick where we didn't have to lock our locker? We could still get into it.
I hope nobody saw that.
Efficient, I would say.
Yeah.
We're always efficient and trustworthy. Trusting.
Yeah. There you go.
Yes, but so high school is really where I got the bug for saving and investing. So I'll talk a little bit about that later
Yeah.
while we're chatting. But then I went to Michigan State University.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
Frank, go green.
She had to put that in there.
I'll say it with you. Go white.
Love it, love it.
Wow.
I know, this is
Wow.
impressive.
That's pretty big. Only for you, Danielle.
I studied communications and public relations. And then right out of college, started what became the career of my dreams at
That's awesome.
a local financial services company, one of the many amazing insurance companies that we have in Lansing, and really was able to find a job and a role that suited my
You
God-given
good?
skills.
Is it falling?
Yeah. There you go.
And let me be me.
Okay, so let me back you up because you're being a little bit modest because you also created your role, which I think is okay for you to say, right? So you created your role and really grew it from there, which I think is awesome.
I joined the company at a time when they wanted to begin a corporate giving program. You know, now it's very commonplace for
Sure.
companies to do this. Back in 2006, it wasn't so common. Companies might have given money away, but it wasn't with any particular type of strategy. It was, you know,
Random.
some exec's favorite pet project.
Sure.
And there wasn't a lot of work done to see return from those investments and to align it with the company's purpose. And when I knew the business had that need and wanted to begin that work, right away, I volunteered to help. It was interesting to me.
Yeah.
It was, having grown up in this community, I loved many of the nonprofits that I had volunteered with as a young person, had done work with my family there. And so I knew the community and loved the idea of helping the community grow and thrive.
Yeah.
And so, like with so much of my career, I was able to volunteer at a time when the company needed help with something
Yeah.
to do it, and it gave me great opportunity. So, but just to tell you a little bit more about myself, after starting that great job, a few years later, I met the wonderful Ryan Robinson, love of my
Ryan.
life. And we were married in 2011, and that is really sort of the start of our official retirement plan together was our marriage prep courses at church and thinking about and talking about what our future would hold and what kinds
Yeah.
of goals we wanted to have. Some of them financial, some of them not financial, some of them spiritual, personal, family, etc. And it has just been an amazing journey. And I think maybe just to wrap up, I'll tell you, I love to garden. I love
Yeah.
to cook. I love to sing. I sing in our
Yeah.
church choir.
Yeah.
And after lots of years of soul searching, I have determined when I am my happiest is when I'm helping people that I love.
Yeah.
So this
Awesome.
is why it's a joy to
That's
be with you
awesome.
today.
Yeah.
Well, and I love something that you said too, because when you were sharing about, and we kind of talked about this earlier, but you were talking about how you guys had not just financial goals as a couple, but you also had, you know, spiritual goals, personal goals. And I think it's so important. We were even just chatting about that with somebody today. It's important as a couple. I think, you know, we get so busy in our lives, or if you're running a business, or, you know, if you're pastoring or in ministry, or really, or just, you know, going to work day to day, you know, you sort of get in these, I don't want to say ruts, but you get in these areas in life where, you know,
Hamster wheel.
yeah. And it's just like he used to say, you know, got to get up and do the donuts or whatever, make the donuts, like that
That's
commercial.
an old commercial.
I don't remember the commercial, but he says it was an old commercial. But
Time to make the donut. How many remember that commercial? If you remember that
Raise
commercial,
your hand.
Raise your hand. Put
See,
it.
me, Danielle and I, we don't know what you're talking about.
Give me some love out there for those of you that
Thumbs
remember
up.
the Dunkin' Donuts time to make the donuts
So,
commercial.
yeah, and I think it's so important because, you know, even as a business owner, you know, if you own a business, you're so much immersed in the day-to-day, you know, operations of the daily business that you forget to take time out
Yeah.
to work on the business because you're so busy running the business. And I think that's even with marriage or family or anything, you know, you become roommates, you know, as you're living together, or you know, what do we have tomorrow? This, okay, make sure the kids, this, you know, and you're just sort of like, especially if you have young kids, or you're just, your life is so crammed busy, you're just like in survival mode. And I think it's so important as a couple, or even, you know, even if you're single, to take time away. Go take yourself to a hotel and, you know, take your journals and write some, that, you know, we make sure we do that every year. We take a couple nights away, bring all of our things, right? And we got sticky notes everywhere. We're praying, we're writing, we're dreaming. Write some goals, dream together. Because I think it's so important, because if you don't have those, you know, kind of plan set in place, you don't really know what you're working towards. And so I
Yeah.
love that you said that, because you talked about not only financial, but like, personal goals. And then,
I recommend you should always do that. I think
yeah,
before you get into the next year, before you go into 2026.
we do it in October, which is a good,
Yeah, October, November-ish.
Yeah.
I think it's important that you do a little powwow, you and your spouse, and make sure that you're, or if you're single, whatever. Get some plans,
yeah,
get some goals, set some things for what you want your next year to look like, so that you're not going into the year blindly saying, well, this is just going to be another year of the same old stuff. And so we do that every year
Yeah.
religiously. It's important, one, just to get away together, but two, to take the time to say, what do we want the house life to look like? What do
Yeah.
we want our kids' life to look like? What do we
our
want
schedule.
the schedule to
Yeah.
look like? And then, but most importantly, with us, it's what's the agenda for the church? What's our
Yeah.
mission? Where we're going? What's working? What's not working?
Yeah.
Let's take out stuff that's time consuming
Or running us ragged,
or
doesn't
running us
have any
ragged
fruit. Yeah.
for nothing.
Yeah.
And let's go make sure that we tackle it before the year. And so yeah.
So I guess like financially, you talked about that now you're retired, and I'd say that it's an early retirement, right? Because you don't look 75 to me, unless you have some great skincare you can share with us. But so when you got married, which was 15 years ago, right? And you guys said that you wanted to retire early. So was there like a particular age, or was there a particular amount? I guess like what kind of was early, like how was early defined for you guys?
It started for me with a high school class. Mr. Marigi, our
Oh,
economics
man.
teacher, he had us all calculate the time value of money if we maxed out our Roth IRAs. And so at that time, it was $4,000 a year to max out a Roth IRA. And he had us calculate it to see that by the time we were retirement age, if we did that, just a small amount of money every year,
Yeah.
we'd be millionaires.
Yeah.
And it was so inspiring to me
That's
to
cool.
think a little pain today is a great gain tomorrow.
Come
Yeah.
on.
And I just thought, well, this is amazing.
good.
I can do this. And so with my very first job in high school, my parents helped me open a Roth IRA. And I'm so grateful that I had parents who knew how to do that kind of thing, were willing to help me get started.
Yeah.
Just having access to banking and financial institutions is not something everyone has access to. So I can
Yeah.
recognize that as an advantage. But from there, it was just a plan that I was executing on. And so when Ryan and I got married, as a part of our marriage prep, we went through, oh my gosh, this inventory of questions, 150, I don't know, so many. And to help us kind of pull out from each other, do we have a good sense of where we're headed as a couple? And are there things that we don't agree about that we should talk about now
Yep.
Yeah.
before this thing is
Yeah.
final?
There you go.
Yeah.
And
Your,
So
your
many-
last way out.
yeah.
So many couples do not do that.
Yeah.
And that is part of why the divorce rate is so high, because money is
Not on the same
one of
page.
the
Yep.
key issues.
Yeah, it is not easy to be married, and it is much easier if you have made a commitment from the beginning and know that you have similar goals and know the things that you want to get more similar on,
And
or
actually
things that you
talked
wanna-
about stuff instead of just, I
Yes.
love you and you love me, let's do this.
It is so hard to talk
Yeah,
about some of these
yeah.
topics, and it's so easy before you're married to say like, we'll figure that out.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
That's
when
good.
you're there, let's figure that out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so anyways, when we were combining finances, as we thought was right to do as a married couple, it became very obvious that I had this really aggressive savings plan. And Ryan was like, yeah,
Whoa.
let's do it. Like
That's
we
cool.
can
So-
we can do this.
So
That's
from
cool.
your first job,
yeah.
you had already
Mhm.
been going hard at this,
Yeah.
saying, hey, this is the way I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, just when I had a really entry level salary. I remember when we got married, Ryan was making twice as much money as me. He is a CPA. So rightly
Yeah.
so, he had
Yeah.
the kind of entry level salary. It was much bigger than mine. But I had more money saved. And he laughs about it now
Sure.
too. And it was really because he just hadn't put his mind to it.
There
And
you go.
yeah.
Yeah.
and not that
Yeah.
you have to put your mind to this. It's just
Yeah.
something I was doing. And then he, we talked about it and agreed, like, let's give it a try. Let's
Yeah.
see how we could do this. And so we started setting more aside, investing, and over time, every month Ryan would reconcile what we were doing, and then once a year we would reconcile it together and look at it. And it just year after year, it became obvious that, oh wow, we're doing this faster than we thought.
That's
and
awesome.
so then we started setting some like age numbers. Okay, looks like maybe we could do this at 47. Maybe we could do it at 40. And just every year, it's like
That's
we were
awesome.
saving more than we had planned to. Our investments were doing better than we had planned. We had hoped to have children. We haven't. So it's like, okay, we're not saving for college anymore.
Sure.
It's like life
Yeah.
unfolds. God has a plan for all of us.
Yeah.
And life unfolds the way it does. And
Yep.
so, yeah, last fall, Ryan realized financially we were ready to retire.
That's awesome.
And so then we had to spend some time talking about emotionally, are we ready to retire?
That's good.
And both of us had grown our careers to a point where we were in high level executive positions with tons of stress, but tons of power too.
Yeah.
And I think something that early on in our marriage, we didn't recognize, that we began to recognize, as we matured as people and as we matured in our relationship with Jesus, was this idea that there is nothing that is in greater competition for our heart than money. It is going to compete
That's
with
so good.
Jesus all the time. And we could
So
see
good.
it happening.
Yeah.
We could see how the need for more was so apparent in our workplaces and didn't allow us to prioritize the things that were really important to us and that
That's
we
so good.
believed the Lord was calling us to devote our energy and time to.
Yeah.
And so I would say, honestly, our reasons for retiring early changed over time.
Yeah.
Wow.
As we changed.
Yeah.
That's
so
good.
good.
That's good. That's good right there. Did it ever get hard to
No.
stick to the budget and say, hey,
Only for Ryan, not Danielle.
My
I'm going to
man.
ask him later.
my man,
We should have had him too, just to check the story.
my man likes his cars.
He does.
First of all, nothing's hard for Ryan. I just want to let you know he's amazing.
You either.
But no,
so.
things were hard, and particularly, I would say, something I recognize is that there is a direct link between hard work and earning potential. So, and I'm not saying everyone has the same earning potential, but
Yeah.
I'm saying if you want to maximize your earning
Yeah.
potential, which we were trying to do, you were going to be working hard.
Yeah.
And so we were working really hard.
Yeah.
And, in the ups and downs in life, the ups and downs of work, there
Yeah.
were times both of us wanted to bail. Like,
Yeah.
this job is for the birds. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to do
Yeah.
this anymore.
Yeah.
And, praise God, the times that I wanted to bail, Ryan was doing okay
That's
at
so
work
good.
and vice versa. So we could support each other, talk through what was going on, kind of recenter on the goals, figure out how to make adjustments to make it work and stay the course. And I
Yeah.
think ultimately for us, like I said earlier, these were jobs that for both of us, I think really aligned well to our God-given skills and talents. And so we felt it was virtuous work for us.
Sure.
And so we wanted to stay the course.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was hard, but also so rewarding to do it together.
See, but you said a couple good things there. The first thing I liked what you said was not only did you guys set goals like before you got married, but you kind of kept taking the temperature of the goals, right? And I think that sometimes it's hard enough for us to sort of get time to chat with our spouse. We joked last episode that I actually had a bullet point list because that's true. Like if you need to have a bullet point list and make a date with your spouse, so okay, here's what I want to talk about,
And, but that's great.
Yeah.
That should happen.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Don't talk during football.
don't
No,
talk
I
during
get it.
football.
Or soccer or,
Or
basketball or wrestling or all the things. Fine. Don't talk to me during Gilmore Girls. Okay. But anyways, and so I liked that what you said, because I think it's hard enough for us to find the time just to even make the goal, right? But then also to kind of periodically, whether it's once a month, end of the month, or once a quarter, whatever, to sort of re-look at, because you can say, and I learned this doing real estate. I had a great coach when I was in real estate, but he talked about actually putting numbers on goals. And I think so many times, we have our goals and we're like, we want to, lose weight, or we want to go to the gym more, or we want to read a couple more books this year. And it's like, well, how much more, And I think it's really good when you actually put down numbers and then so and work backwards, if I want to, save up X amount this year, okay, what is that per month? What is that per week? What is that per paycheck? What does that look like? How can I adjust? And so I think that's good that you guys kind of kept coming back to the table to have those conversations and really readjusting things, because that's huge, because that, takes your temperature on how you're doing, right? But until you get there and you're like, oh, wait, I guess we were behind. Or like you said, oh, we're kind of ahead, so we can do this 7 years, sooner than we thought, or whatever, and but then I also liked, it was so powerful because you talked about, Jesus being more than money. and how when you're in that position, it's hard to keep that as your main focus. And that's what this life is all about. And so all these other things are just distractions, right?
That's
but
good.
you kept the main thing. I love that you said that. And so, for the listeners, we wanted to have her on, not to discourage you if you're not close to retiring. You think, well, man, that's great for her.
Well, and it reminds me of the scripture. When you saying that you put God first, and the Bible directly tells us that when we seek Him first, He'll add everything on for us.
Yeah.
He'll handle the rest. And so, I mean, that was huge of you to say, because it is. We're living in a society where money is king and money is everything. And I want the white picket fence. I want 3, 4, 5 cars. I want the biggest house. I want.
Yeah.
And it's easy to, and if you look anywhere, I mean, just watching a show, sit there and wait for the commercial. All these things that come on or watching a reality series now, these, they got this and they got that.
Yeah.
And so you want to keep up with the Kardashians or keep up with the Joneses, so to speak, to live like, I want to live like that.
Yeah.
And that's, that's where you've made it, quote unquote. But this is a whole different route to make it. And this is great.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, we don't, like I said, we don't want to frustrate people or get them discouraged to think, well, that's great. You're able to retire and enjoy life. Cause I know that so many people work so long in their life, and then, they're a certain age. And then that's why you see older gentlemen driving,
sports cars,
Corvettes, because they can finally, purchase
afford
the
it.
Big purchase or whatever. And then they don't even have time, to enjoy their life because maybe they don't want to travel. They're in their old age or, whatever. And so it's not to discourage you. I think the goal of this episode is to help you where you're at, whether it be financially or whatever other goals that you have, to help you get the motivation. I know Danielle even shared, there was a couple people in her life that started to pay attention, right? You start to pay attention to not only financially, but other goals, and to kind of take your own temperature. And so I think so many people don't know where they're spending their money, or even, there's some people that don't even know how much they make, after taxes, right? They have this is my salary, and then they don't even really know how much their actual paycheck is or where it goes, right? And so, Danielle, do you have any tips or tricks that you guys used, or maybe that you know of, that can kind of help people stay on track as far as financial goals?
Yeah, I will start by saying I'm not a financial expert. I
This is guaranteed.
Wouldn't offer financial advice to anyone. However, and there are many financial experts that are terrific out there to listen to, get inspiration from, and I have definitely done that over the years. So encourage people to listen to some of those, find one that really speaks to your soul and is right for you, to hear from them. But I think there are some basic principles that all of these experts follow, and they start with having a safety net. So knowing that if you have an emergency at home, you've got some cash flow. So you've got, first, I think people usually start with like a really small safety net, $500. Then you work toward having a percentage of your income, your monthly, so maybe 3 to 5 months expenses in the bank. And this is just in your savings account. So when you get a flat tire, it's not an emergency because you've got $500. When you've got dental expenses you weren't planning, it's not an emergency anymore. And life is just easier that way.
When the brakes are going out on the car,
you can pay for it, and then you just replenish your emergency savings account, so you're ready to go. Then you start knocking out that debt, working on whatever debt you've got, work to knock it out. And then from there, you work on savings goals. So college, retirement, paying off the house, whatever goals are for people. So I think there are some basic steps that I would encourage anyone to follow. And I think the most important thing is, start today. If you're ready, start now,
so
begin.
What does that look like?
Yeah.
Start today doing what?
Where you are. So it depends on, do you already have an emergency savings account? If not, that's where you start.
Okay.
Because how do I get $500 that I can just have in my savings account? So that it makes, maybe you don't even have a bank account. Maybe you need to start by opening a bank account. So, it's kind of, you start where you are. That is the thing about personal finance. It is personal. And it is so directly related to where you are and what you need and all of your circumstances. So, I would say start where you are. I can say for Ryan and me, we followed a pretty simple formula for ourselves of tithe 10% of our earnings, live off of 30% of our earnings, and then save and invest 60% of our earnings.
Wow.
So we've been doing that for 15 plus years. And for us, that worked. That won't work for everyone.
Sure.
You know,
Sure.
and that is, we were fortunate to be in great careers, and our earning continued to increase over the years, and we continued to live more simply. And that was a choice.
Yeah.
But that was a kind of a simple formula we could follow, and it worked well for us.
Give us those percentages again.
Yeah. So we were tithing 10%, always first.
I love that.
And that was such a joy, because as our income increased, to be able to give away so much money.
That's awesome.
What a joy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean,
Amen.
this is an amazing, there is a joy in philanthropy, and what a joy. And then living off of 30% of our income, and then we were saving and investing the remaining 60%.
That's good.
That's awesome.
And well, I wanted you to repeat that, because that is so, I'm like, again, I don't, you know, I don't know what you're going to say. So for you to say that 10% is right off the bat, and people think, well, you're pastors, you guys require the 10%. Listen, when you honor and fulfill the word of God, and you take that seriously and honor him with your first fruits, man, he can do nothing but bless you after that. He tells you, test me in this. See if I don't open up the floodgates. And so I'm glad that was the first answer, because that was good.
That's why I wanted you to say it again.
That's why I wanted you to say it again. Because there's so many people that are robbing themselves. They don't understand this. The Bible talks about you're cursing yourself when you don't first give God your first fruits. When you don't pay your tithe, your 10%. I think that's pretty generous. For me to get to keep 90. When I only have to give him back 10.
It's all his.
It's all his. That's so good.
And I've heard other percentages. What's like, I mean, I know you said that was your percentage. Is there like, besides the 10%, is there like a general, you know, save X amount and spend X amount?
Well, you know, I think it would be directly linked to your goals. So the more you can save and invest, the faster you will get to a financial goal. But you can't do that at the expense of like paying your mortgage, buying food, you know, so you have to make reasonable decisions. And we were able to live off of 30% of our income very comfortably and happily.
So you mean you still had to pay your mortgage while you were saving?
You know it. Paid it off a long time
they weren't
ago.
homeless.
We were delighted to do it. Yeah, delighted
That's
to do
awesome.
it.
That's awesome. Cool.
So do you have any advice for married couples on how to help one another? Right? Because sometimes
you have a saver and a spender.
Yeah, there you go. You got to save. Ryan wants to go out and buy a new truck.
Charger.
Oh, he sure does.
Or you got a spouse that wants to, Amazon shows up at the house every single day. What do you say when you got someone that's trying to stick by the books and someone
or he wants to buy wrestling collectibles or something?
Well, maybe the first thing I would offer is
the
that
truck.
I don't put any moral value on retiring early. So this was a decision Ryan and I made. It was what we believed the Lord was calling us to do, but I believe it can be very virtuous to work a long career. And I believe the Lord has many paths for us to become holy. And so I don't really see one or the other being more virtuous. Then to get on the same page with your spouse, though, this is very important. And boy, money is one of those things that might be one of the most important things to be on the same page about. This is what I would do, and this is what I do anytime Ryan and I have something where we have a disagreement about how to go forward. First, I pray.
Rock, paper, scissors? Oh, you pray.
First, I pray, and I ask the Lord to open my heart to what I might not know, see, or hear about this situation.
That's good.
Ask him to change my heart if it needs to be changed. Then I talk with Ryan about what he sees and what I see and where we both want to go and how the actions we're taking may or may not get us to the same destination. And I listen. It's very important to listen to your spouse. And then, believe it or not, I pray again. And then I go back and talk to Ryan. And then I just repeat this cycle over and over and over again. And I think
until he doesn't want the truck no more.
Until you realize
that you're right the whole time.
There is no goal. Oh, he wants that truck. And so do I. It's so much fun. No, but until you realize there is no goal more important than the relationship.
Yeah,
that's good.
And so you can never sacrifice the relationship for a goal, and the Lord will help you get there.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is good. And plus, too, the fact that it's, I think, go ahead. Well, I think a lot of sometimes not so much financial goals, but a lot of buying is impulse buying, especially if you're talking about cars and somebody goes to see a car and now you have the car salesman and he's on you and hurry up, somebody else is going to buy this, and it's so much, oh, I got to hurry. And it's like, and that hurry is so opposite of the Lord. And so I love that you said that you stop and you pray and you talk and you pray and you talk, and so it's not just of, okay, let's hurry and make the decision right now. And especially something as big as a financial decision as a truck, because those are like as much as houses are nowadays.
Well,
like, I don't know what kind of truck, but they're expensive.
That's what I was going to reiterate is you said you talk to God.
Yeah.
And then you talk with Ryan. And then you talk with God. But what is that? That's communication.
Yeah.
And so the most important thing is to be on the same page. So you got to communicate, couples.
Yeah.
If you're going to get the same goals and you're going to be on the same page, you need to communicate. And I love that you said, okay, the whys, how does this favor us? What does this do for us or doesn't do for us? Does this put us behind the 8 ball if we're doing this? And so that's a decision that you come with together.
Yeah.
And that you're on the same page. Or if you feel like the spouse is stronger in one way, I love that you said take it before God and okay, help me discern.
Yeah, that's good.
What it is, and is it going to be helpful or is it going to hinder us? So.
And then I guess my question would be, what about couples that like aren't as perfect as you guys and don't
Agree.
Well, just are not on the same page, or like if they're single and they don't have somebody to be on the same page. Like, I guess if you kind of feel like you're out here by yourself and maybe the spouse doesn't know anything about the finances, or maybe they don't want to know, or they, bury their head in the sand, whatever. I mean, I guess how would you?
Well, first I would remember.
Why are you cricketing that?
Even the crickets know. There are not just 2 in a marriage,
As
but
a segue.
3. The Lord is always in there with you.
Amen.
That's good.
And so if you are feeling alone, remember, he's right there. He's right there in the middle, pulling you together.
Yeah.
So I'd remember that. And also I read this great book years ago called Crucial Conversations. And one of the things they talked about in this book was that if you have to have a difficult conversation, coming to the table, even if you think the person you're having this difficult conversation with is in the wrong and you think you have done everything right, still come to the conversation looking for a solution you can both contribute to. What can we both do to get to a solution we both feel good about?
Yeah.
So rather than placing, you did this wrong, you did that wrong, to say, I wish I could have done this to make that better. And I wish we could have done this. And I think I could do this for next time to make that go easier. And if you are willing to come to the table and look for ways that you can contribute to a solution, I think it's amazing how other people also then want to reciprocate and come with ways they can help. And the truth is, whether you're right or wrong, you just want to get to the solution.
Yeah.
You just want to get to the end game. And so coming with that kind of approach has been helpful for me.
Well, and you came with the right approach when you said, I asked the Lord to show me if there's anything that I need to open up my eyes. Your prayer wasn't, Lord, show Ryan why I'm right and he's wrong and my answer is better. So you already came humble to say like, okay, what am I not seeing that maybe you're trying to convey and I'm just not understanding? And if I'm in the wrong, to show me. So that was really good. Yeah, that was really good. What kind of tips? You said better. You said it a little bit earlier, but what kind of tips, you talked about, working really hard sort of equates more income. What would be your tips to maybe help somebody get more income, I guess, is a best way to say that question.
Yeah, one of the things I always found, and this was a piece of advice I got early on in my career, was to look for gaps, look for what's not being done at work.
That's good.
And if you can do it, volunteer to do it. And that is how I built my whole career, is looking for places the company needed help. Where were there gaps? Where was there something everyone was complaining wasn't getting done? Could I do it? And I just volunteered over and over and over again to pick up new work. And of course, that's opportunity.
Yeah.
That is when a company is like, wow, that is someone we can really count on. They're fixing stuff we didn't even really realize was a problem.
That's
That
good.
is
And
good.
they're doing work nobody wanted to do. And of course, for me, that was such a joy to be of value, to be of service.
A solution.
I would meet so many people I hadn't had a reason to meet otherwise. It's also kind of scary sometimes because
Sure.
you don't know exactly where you're going and no one else has done it before, so you don't know exactly what you're doing. But I'm fortunate. The Lord has made me brave and in so many ways. And so for me, it suited my skills.
Yeah.
See a need and fill it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
See a need and
No,
fill it.
that's
Now,
good.
did you go in intending to make your own position, or is it?
No.
No, okay.
No,
I didn't know if
Abbott's
you had
not-
to.
I mean, I wasn't that smart out of college.
I said, you got to give us the wisdom of how to just create your own.
No, that's pretty good.
That's
Added
good.
value.
And
You
then
have to
That's
add
good.
value. Oh my gosh, how often I would tell young staff, add value. You need to be valuable. If
Yeah.
you are wondering why no one values you here, you're not adding value.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
And so you have to find a way to be valuable, especially in a corporate setting. This is the goal.
And let's be honest. I think the regular person comes from a place of I'm just gonna do.
Laziness.
There
the
you
bare
go.
minimum.
The
What
bare
I
minimum.
can
Yeah.
barely
The
do
bare
to get
minimum.
by.
Yeah.
And
I remember when I was in high school, a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I did the bare minimum because if I said what do I need to pass? Oh, we see, okay. I'm gonna just try to do the bare minimum,
Yeah.
so that I don't have to go out of my way
Yeah.
to do more than I need to. And I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
oh,
Is
well,
that so many young people out here just are doing bare minimum, and then we run back to our phones, and
Yeah.
instead of like seeing needs and filling
Yeah.
it to show, hey, no, I'm worthy here. I'm of worth. Keep me around. Give me the pay raise that I deserve
Yeah.
instead of I'm demanding a
Mhm.
raise because
well, you know, Frank, the Lord makes all kinds of people, and He needs the world filled with all kinds of people. So sometimes a seed does the job, does the trick, you know.
Yeah, but you don't have that same work ethic now.
no.
You're always
And
working, planning.
Let's be
thinking,
honest.
late night.
If I wanted to, I did. Sometimes I could have the A, the B, the whatever. But I'm just saying I knew my limits. I knew what I can get away with,
Yeah.
and that would be the. But you're right. I mean, but that is so huge in our society today to like just do what you need to do
Yeah.
and don't go above and beyond that. And I think this is where a lot of people struggle because we've got a lot of people that are just standing around instead of moving.
Yeah.
I do think that saying of you get out what you put in, 100% true.
Yeah.
If you want to get a lot out of a job, if you want it to be meaningful for you, if you want to earn more, if you want to be recognized, put a lot into it. You know, go
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah.
And really take it seriously, invest a lot into it. Ryan and I both, we would show up at work before everyone else. We would stay late after everyone else, worked lots of extra hours,
That's good.
took on extra projects. Like this was a real intentional effort. And so we got a lot out of it,
Yeah.
you know? So put a lot in, you'll get a lot out.
Yeah. I like though you said you found a need and you filled it.
Constantly.
I remember reading an article about somebody that their boss always got mad at the coffee machine because it was always broken. And so what they did was they looked up, they were just a secretary at the time. They looked up like they YouTubed how to fix it, what it needed, and so they would always make it so that it was, and so they needed that person, and the boss appreciated it, but noticed that something as small as, as that you're right. You make a value, for yourself, and they need you, and you're appreciated, you know?
It's not uncommon at all for young people at work to say, oh, that work's not really that important, so I don't want to do that. And the truth is, all work is important if it helps someone else. And your job here is to be helpful and to help someone else. And if you can help your boss, that is a great way to do your job.
Yeah, totally. So can you tell me about your plans now? That how will life change for you in this next chapter of your life?
Well, in week number 3, it has already been amazing, exceeding our expectations for sure. Our number one priorities were to have more time available to my sister, who has 3 young children, and then both of our parents. We've already been spending lots of time with the kids. Rochelle had one that was sick, so I was home with him. We've been having them over for dinner nights to give my sister a little break with her husband.
That's awesome.
And it's a joy for me.
Nice.
I've got a regular schedule to take them to school 1 day a week. So helping out just to ease the burden a little bit of juggling 2 jobs and 3 little kids is a lot. And we've been to see both of our parents, have lots of plans to spend more time with them. And it is a joy.
Well, let us know when you want some more kids.
Walking with Shalene is high on my list too.
There you go.
Listen, 2 Corinthians 9:8 says, and God is able to bless you abundantly, so that in all things, that in all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work. in all seasons of life, this verse promises you will have all you need. Listen, God wants to bless us. God wants uh, one of the greatest things is I see you're a giver. And so I believe that's part of the testing. God says, I will bless you because I know you know how to
Handle it.
handle it.
Yeah.
You got
Steward
so
it.
many people that want to steward it and say, this is mine. It's all for me. I don't want to give back. And that's part of the problem. I think God wants to do so much more for people, but he said, you don't know how to handle it. You don't know how to handle it. And so I can't bless you in that area because you're just going to run away with it and do whatever you want to do with it and not help the next person out. And so congratulations to you.
But you also have to do the work. And then I liked how you said that. You know, Colossians 3:23 through 24 says, whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. It is the Lord Christ you are serving. And so by working hard, you're working unto the Lord, not unto your bosses, not unto your, spouse or anybody that's in your life, coworkers, but you're working unto the Lord. And then you're also stewarding the money well. And I think that's what you guys did. And
Danielle, thank you for being on. Thank you for being here. Do you have the producer said we've ran out of time.
yes. When will your book be available? That's what I'd like to know. I keep asking her to write a book.
Any final thoughts for our listeners? Anything you want to say that we didn't ask you? Anything that you want to give us as a nugget on the way out?
I just say, if you're a praying person, I'd ask you to add me to your list of prayers. Pray for me. Ryan and I need it, of course. And gosh, I hope the Lord would bless Shalene and Frank richly.
Yay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Warrior Nation, it has been great.
Our first guest.
A great guest. And don't get discouraged. Find a need, fill it, start putting away. If you got a little bit of change left over, $500,000, start with that, and then start to be able to do what God can do.
And give 10% and budget.
Give
please.
your 10%.
Look at where you're spending your money.
Budget.
Please budget your money.
Please make sure that in all you do, God comes first. And got anything else?
No. Nope. Thank
so that
you.
You can have money to fix the brakes. We're out of here. Warrior out.